And we have one attendee at this point. No attendees at this point. Okay. All right, so we are live. So I'd like to call to order this, or do I have to wait? I have to wait another minute. I have one more minute. There we go. Now I'm at 6 o'clock. So I'd like to call to order this District of Sechelt public hearing. This is 6 o'clock on Wednesday, March 31st. And this is for zoning amendment bylaw number 25-309, 2020, Legion 140. So call to order the public hearing convened under section 464 of the Local Government Act. And the business of this hearing is zoning amendment bylaw number 25-309, 2020, Legion 140. Bylaw 25-309, 2020, Legion 140 proposes to allow neighborhood pub as a permitted use at 5546 Inlet Avenue. This change will facilitate the relocation of the Sechelt Legion from the current location on Wharf Avenue to Inlet Avenue. All persons who believe their interest is affected by the proposed bylaw will be afforded an opportunity to be heard or to present written submissions respecting matters contained in the bylaw that is the subject of this hearing. If you have a written submission, please submit it to our planning department before the end of this public hearing at planning@sechelt.ca. The proposed bylaw and related documents can be reviewed online at the District of Sechelt website at www.sechelt.ca. And notice of this virtual public hearing was advertised in the newspaper, on the district's website, and social media. If you have signed in using the Zoom app and you wish to be added to the speakers list, please let us know by clicking the raise hand button. A staff member will then reach out to you in the chat to advise that you have been added to the speakers list. Once you've been added, staff will lower your electronic hand as confirmation. If you've dialed in with the telephone only, press *9 to raise your hand and you'll be added to the list. Those calling in will only be identifiable by their phone number. So when it is your turn to speak, I will call on you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. The name and address of persons who make written or verbal submissions will form part of the public record. When I call on you to speak, you'll be able to address the meeting. You'll have to unmute your microphone when prompted. On the Zoom app, mute and unmute is selected on the lower part of the screen. If you're dialing in, the microphone is muted or unmuted by pressing *6. Please note that when staff enable you to speak on the Zoom app, there will be a brief transition period where it may appear that you've been disconnected. Please be patient, as this is only a momentary glitch and you do not need to log out. When speaking, please begin by stating your full name and address for the record. In the interest of time and comfort for those in attendance, we will be restricting your comments to 5 minutes. If you wish to speak a second time, you will be given a second speaking opportunity after everyone wishing to speak regarding the proposed bylaw has spoken once. Anyone wishing to speak a second time will be limited to 3 minutes. To speak again, please raise your hand to be added to the next speakers list. This public hearing is a statutory process convened for the purpose of hearing from the public on the proposed bylaws. None of you will be discouraged or prevented from making your views known. However, it is important that all who speak at this meeting restrict their remarks to matters contained in the proposed bylaw. If you go off topic, as chair, I will ask you to return to appropriate subject matter or stop your presentation. Members of council may ask you questions to clarify points that may not have been clear to them. Council will not enter into a debate with anyone. The function of this hearing is for council to listen to submissions brought forward. After this public hearing, council may, without further notice or hearing, give whatever effect to the proposed bylaw it deems appropriate. The planner will now provide an overview of the bylaw. And I understand we have the applicant now on our speakers list to speak. So, Mr. Kovritz.
Thank you. All right, I'll give a very brief presentation of the application being considered tonight for a rezoning application for 5546 Inlet Avenue. This is a rezoning application for a site that was formerly used as an automotive repair shop. That was a non-conforming use. The zoning did not allow that use, and the property was subsequently purchased by the Seashell Legion. And the application is to add neighborhood pub as a site-specific use on the property. The proposal is consistent with land use designations under the official community plan, which allows for mixed uses and commercial uses within the downtown area. Associated with this rezoning will be a development permit to allow for an addition onto the rear of the building. From a land use context, as noted, the downtown area, it's in the existing C2 zone, and this would be a site-specific permitted use only on this property to allow neighborhood pub as a use. From an OCP perspective, it's located within the downtown center land use designation. The current status of this application within the development process is a second reading was provided, and we're currently considering the public hearing as directed by council. The public hearing, as noted, was advertised in 2 editions of the Coast Reporter on March 19th and 26th. All properties within 100 meters were sent notification by mail. There were posts on the district website. A development sign has been installed at the subject property, and the bylaw and all related documents, including comments received to date, are available at seashell.ca/planning at the district website. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Turn off my turn on my microphone. There we go. So we're now going to invite persons to provide verbal submissions regarding the bylaw amendments. And I will first call for submissions from those who have signed into the speakers list. Before you begin your comments to council, please state your name and address from the record. So our first speaker is Bill McLean. So Bill, you're still muted.
There I go.
There you go.
Okay. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. I added myself to the speakers list thinking that there may be more people and I might have to counter some negative comments, but in any event, you've already got my written submission. As you all know, this is a much anticipated move on behalf of the Legion. It's what will allow us to continue to operate and hopefully to thrive in the community and continue our good works. And with that, you already know me. So yes, I'm the president of the Legion and my full address is 8127 Francis Road, Half Moon Bay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. McLean from council? No questions. Thank you. All right, do we have any other speakers? I see we have one other person in the gallery, but I think he's your compatriot, so he's probably not going to come forward to speak. All right, so is there anyone else who wishes to speak to this matter? I don't see anybody putting their hand up. So I'm going to ask again, is there anyone else who wishes to speak to this matter? And then before I ask for a final time, Floria, are there any other submissions that have come in?
There are no further submissions that have come in, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask for final time. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to this matter? So seeing and hearing no one else, I will adjourn this public hearing and remind everyone that no further information is to come forward to council regarding this proposed bylaw. Thank you all. Thank you, staff. Thank you, Mr. McLean, Mr. Hamblin, for being here. Good night, everyone.